Hi guys, what's up? It's your girl Swaggy and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you my thoughts. So a couple days ago, one of my old classmates, a young Russian lady, she messaged me and she was asking me for an advice. She was looking for help, and the situation is she's in relationships with a black guy, and she's afraid, she's shy, insecure to introduce him to her Russian side of the family. And those feelings, they brought me instantly back to those times when I was going through the same situation, through the same feelings. I was so afraid, so shy to tell my family about my choice. So the situation was a little bit different with us, because I and my husband, we were living in Asia, so we were not depending on my side of the family. So it wasn't really, it wasn't super important, but I had to introduce my Jamaican boyfriend. Of course I had to introduce, but like, we did not depend on them. So if they would not accept my choice, it would not destroy our relationships. But this girl's situation is a little bit different. They live in Russia, so they, in a way, they depend on the Russian side of the family. They have to communicate on a regular with them, so it's more, it's more for them important, if you could say so. But guys, I really wanted to know how my grandparents, they were feeling about my choice. So I already have one video on my channel where I was talking about my mom reaction, and today I want to talk about my grandparents' reaction. So I wasn't worrying about my women's side of the family, because Russian women are very easygoing, very open-minded. If nobody feeds their brain with negative thoughts, they are very accepting to people from other backgrounds, cultures, yeah. And when it comes to Russian men, it's a little bit more complicated, because a lot of Russian men, they are very overprotecting and very, they have prejudice about interracial relationships, and they don't really that open-minded, when you can say so. But I'm not talking about all Russian men, because Russian men are different, and you can't, of course, compare a Russian man who never left Russia before, never went abroad before, with a Russian man who used to live in a foreign country, or like, if you could say so, Americanized Russian guy here. And I was thinking that my grandfather, well, he comes like a father to me, because I was raised in a single parent house. I never had father, so I had grandfather, so he's like my father. So that is the situation. So I was thinking like him, as a very typical Russian guy, Russian man would think, how some Russian typical men think. And today I will talk from women's side of the view, if you can say so, because I'm not a Russian guy in interracial relationships, so I can't speak for the men's side. I will speak for women here. So basically, some Russian men, they call Russian women who are dating black guys, or men with different skin color, with dark skin color, they call Russian women inkwells, and it's very disrespectful, but it is how it is. So also there are some arguments they push on those women in hope they will fall for them and change their opinion today. Today we will talk about, okay, let's talk about black guys, okay? When it comes to black guys, yeah. So the first argument they like to push on women, they kind of, in a way, if you can say so, manipulate with the religion, if you could say so, and they call mixing races mixing blood. So when you mix your race, you mix your blood, and it's a sin to mix your blood, and God will not forgive you. So it probably will work for women who are not familiar with Bible, but actually Bible, as I remember, never divided people on colors, and God never discriminated people based on their appearances. I mean, we bleed the same, and when they say you mix your blood, it means that they say that all blood is different. I mean, what even they are trying to say. So, you know, the thing in Russia, a lot of Russian people, they might fall for it, for those statements, because in Russia, unlike those West Christian people, we don't study Bible in church, so we are not really Bible educated on that level. And most people, they just worship in church, they come and they sing those Christian old language songs. Sometimes people don't even understand what the song's about. They just there in the moment worshiping, and they put candle, then they go home, done, finish. And anybody can't tell them, lie to them that was in the Bible, and they're gonna, you know. I know women who just throw their relationships in the garbage just because of statements like that. It really works. So next argument, they like to push on those women who date outside races, nationalities. I mean, Russian men, honestly, they don't like seeing Russian women with other men nationalities. And when we talk about race, it's a bigger matter. It brings more negative in the man-Russian society, if you can say so, and the attitude towards it much more negative. Yeah. So they also like to say that your second generation, your kids, mixed kids, second generation will come out disabled, and they will have problems on genetic level and stuff. So it also scares Russian women, and they decide to, you know, give up their relationships because of that. They're afraid that their kids will give birth to disabled kids. But what happened to those countries where people they've been mixing from a long time, and those countries that still exist, and they don't have like thousands of disabled people. I mean, everything are balanced in the country. The color does not play in a role. It's Mother Nature. Anybody can give birth to a disabled child here. So I don't see any connection with the color here also. So next argument, they like to scare like women, to hold them in their lane so they don't go out. And they like to say basically that your mixed kids will not look like you, they will lose your roots. So my second child, my second son, he looks just like me. The difference is only he has brown skin and different structure of his hair. He has curly hair, but people, they see my appearance in his face. I mean, it's also depends on Mother Nature, how the Mother Nature will decide. Even in white families, full white families, one child can look like father, one child can look like mother, okay? So no connection also. So roots, let's talk about roots. So they like to talk about roots a lot. So basically, you know, if my kids would be born in Russia, raised in Russia, how they would lose their cultural roots. I mean, they would grow up in the Russian society, they would be Russians. I mean, they would speak Russian language, eat Russian food, communicate with Russian people, do what Russian people do. So how they would lose those roots. And in Russia they call mixed kids Afro-Russians, or some disrespectful people take it to another level and call them N word, and it ends with the O. Yeah. And probably because of that pressure, I mean, in Russia, your mixed kids, they are still black kids. They're not Russian, and you kind of feel a little bit isolated from Russian white society, if you can say so. And lots of women, just because they can't stand the pressure, they leave Russia and they take their mixed kids to their husband's country. Because when almost every day when you face those statements and when somebody tells you to go to your husband's country, sometimes, you know, it happens. Like, people literally sometimes run those women to their husband's countries, and they have no choice other than just to go to their husband's country if they have this opportunity, because not every black guy can take his Russian partner to his country. I mean, the situations in countries are different, especially in African countries. Yeah. So sometimes they have no choice other than struggle in Russia and, you know, fight this prejudice, but it's not easy. So I know some women, they were so traumatized, so when they left Russia and they brought their kids to their husband's country, they decided to not teach their kids Russian language and to not teach their mixed kids Russian culture. I mean, that's how they were traumatized, and that's how they never wanted to deal with their own culture at all. Yeah, but also I clearly understand that my kids, like for example, my kids, they are more Jamaicans because we live here in Jamaican society. They will be more Jamaicans than Russians, you know. And depends on what society you raise your kids. Yeah, but I also, for me, I try to not lose those roots. I mean, I teach my kids Russian, and I read fairy tales, Russian folklore, and I try to, you know, them to not lose this, you know, Russian cultural touch. Yeah. And you know, I was like expecting from my grandfather the same way of thinking, and you know, he's a Soviet Union guy, and his mature life he spent in Soviet Union. So in Soviet Union had a lot of people from different races, different colors, different nationalities. Like, everybody tried to build the country together, and even African Americans, they were migrating to Soviet Union to escape racism in America. That's how good it was in Soviet Union. And basically, people with different appearance, they were protected by law, so it was pretty safe. But the one thing that I don't like, and I will never like about Soviet Union, that they used to call black people in Soviet Union N and O. And that's how they thought our older now generation to call black people. So, you know, when you in your mature age, you was taught to call or to do things one way, it's hard for you to change, you know. That's why all the generations, they just stick to that cliche. Guys, understand me? Yeah. And nothing can change their, you know, attitude towards the situation, even though now time is changing and black people ask people to stop, call them so. People just don't want to hear nothing. They just say like a lot of people say, like, that's how we were taught back in the days, that's how we grow up, calling black people that, so we don't want to change. So my grandfather, I was expecting him to call my husband that so, or call my kids so or something. But my grandfather, he's amazing, guys. I'm telling you one more time, I was so surprised because, like I told you, he's like a super typical Russian man, and I was not really expecting, you know, a super, flawless reaction. I was expecting anything. I was even ready for him to say like, you're not my granddaughter anymore, bye bye. But he treated my kids just the same he would treat my kids if I would give birth for a white man. So yeah. And next argument, they like to say in Russia, like they like to say when you give birth to mixed kids, when you give birth to kids with a color, like no Russian man will in the future talk to you or will have any relationships with you. And guys, it's so funny because I am a child from a single parent house. I'm white, as you can see, and my mom, not even one time I remember I had a stepfather. I mean, she never had any relationships with nobody other than my father. And you see, color doesn't really matter. I mean, if somebody is not really in love with you, or that means that you're not supposed to step in those kind of relationships. And I mean, if somebody loves you, he's going to take care of anybody. I mean, and the color doesn't matter. If the person really will be in love with you, he will accept your mixed kids, he will accept other nationality kids. So I don't see a really big deal in this argument. I mean, this is not a big deal. I mean, the color doesn't matter also. Yeah. And I was also worrying about my grandfather to fool his head with those thoughts. But so far his reaction, like I told you guys, amazing. But who had problems with my choice and my family? My uncle, once he made a funny joke. I think he called my first son when we were on vacation with his family. He called my firstborn son, like when Leo was I had only one son that time. I brought first time him to Russia. He called him somehow. I don't remember honestly, guys, how he called, but I was kind of hurt down deep. But he kind of tried to laugh it out. How to say it? Like he trying to change the situation into a joke, kind of like he was trying to, like, he felt bad when he said it, and then he kind of tried to joke so we would be we would forget it. But it's like, I mean, I don't really carry it on my heart, because I understand that not everybody are ready to accept changes, and not everybody are open-minded and easygoing, So basically, my uncle's side of the family, they're kind of sore part of our family, and they always try to compete with us. So maybe even what he did based on his attitude towards my family in general, like they always try to feel better than us, but looks like they're losing, and when they understand they're losing, they try to push something on you. It's the perfect argument to push, like, because I date a black guy, but I don't really care about their opinion because they are not close to ours on that level. We don't really communicate with them, so they're there, but I don't really pay attention on it. So guys, next thing, I faced kind of little racism when I was in Vietnam, in Nha Trang. This is like a Russian tourist zone, like where all Russian people, they go on their low budget vacation. It came to my husband, so he was playing, while he was playing his football game, I was left with my two boys, and I had a huge stroller. A huge stroller, and I was pushing my kids at one time, so I needed to take an elevator. So we were going down with the Russian people in the elevator. It was like Russian hotel, huge Russian hotel, with Russian people, not a Russian hotel, but full of Russian people. So I hate, honestly, I hate being in a Russian crowd with my mixed kids, especially in the closed spaces. So in the elevator, there were a lot of women, a guy with his girlfriend or wife, I have no idea. So all of them, they were looking at my kids, they were looking at me, looking at my kids, looking at me. And then one Russian woman said, like, she looked at my kids again one more time, and she said, like, oh, you have such a handsome boys, you know. I said thank you very much, and then the elevator doors opened, and it was time for me to, you know, to come out. And straight after she said this compliment, the Russian guy, like, he couldn't take the compliment. I mean, he was so sorry. He said, like, but it's so sad they don't have a father. So I was like, I mean, when you hear something like that almost every other day, you take it more easy, and you don't really feel that hurt. I mean, you understand that they just are super, like, jealous, sore people, and they just have nothing to do, and you have, like, thick skin already towards this little racism statements. So it kind of does not affect you. It just makes you laugh down deep, like he in front of his girlfriend or whatever wife made that statement, like he cares about me. Like, I mean, why do you care about me in front of your girlfriend and the female you are with? I mean, this kind of disrespectful, right? And I'm the person, I believe people business is only people business. So, you know, but I am not really that emotional when I hear something like that anymore. I just kind of laugh down deep inside, and I don't let it down my spirit and play any role in my relationships. Yeah. And guys, I really, really love that more and more in Russia, more women, they are not afraid to show their interracial relationships. We have a lot of couples on Instagram, on YouTube. They break those stereotypes, they break those statements, and they show people that people from other backgrounds, and like they like to say, people with such different mentalities, they can survive together. And honestly, I believe that mentality is not the first factor that can destroy your relationships. I think what can likely destroy your interracial relationships is pressure, society pressure. That's what I think. My video is not a wake-up call for white women to, you know, go and date black guys. No, because you know, I am not promoting nothing at all. I just want to say that if it happened, if you fell in love with somebody with different skin color, different language, nationality, okay, just give person a chance. Don't just, you know, listen to people, then you just, you know, just throw away in the garbage bin your relationships, especially when love is involved. And yeah, always also, I think being in interracial relationships is not that easy. It's not that easy, and it has a lot of curves, and you have to understand that from both sides sometimes you will receive that pressure. So I mean, if you really fell in love, why not? But like I told you, I messaged this girl back to this girl, and I told her my experience, and of course I told her to not really expect too much, because not everybody are, you know, ready to accept and stuff. Yeah, but it just try to give a chance, and try to, you know, just try to introduce and see what the situation looks like, how your family reacts, and if no, then no. Nobody has to accept nobody if you look at it, and I think everybody's choice. So Also, you can't push people to accept, you know what I'm saying? It's just how it goes. And guys, so I want to say big thanks to all my subscribers. So I have like 20k, so I have 20,000 of my loyal subscribers. Thank you for everything. Thank you for watching me, for motivating me, and I am very, very glad that I have you guys, because if I would not have you guys, I would not have this channel, and I wouldn't be able to share my experience and my thoughts. Like, subscribe, and share as usual. And happy holidays here in Jamaica. Ash Wednesday is going on, so we are on holidays, taking a break. So see you next time. Bye.